and Cowboys.
Welcome back, pool fans. It is last 16. It's a race to 11. What a match we have got here in store. Two-time world champions, both of these two. I'm joined for this match with Double J.
Yeah, it should be one heck of a match here. And you think about Albin Ouschan, the reigning world pool champion, and you know, you kind of figure if the balls kind of, you know, lay 50-50 for both guys, you know, Albin's just going to be a tough guy to beat. That's how he wins these championships. If he gets a little the edge as far as a little bit the layout shots after the break, you definitely label him as a favorite. But what he does day in, day out, that's what makes him, you know, one of the best. Now,
So,
go ahead, Carl.
Yeah, I was just going to say we're going to see players breaking a little firmer today.
Yeah, you read my mind. Definitely they're going to be trying to find what's going on with the break and the rack. If you'll notice, no template hit now the rest of the event.
Yeah, for people watching back home, JJ, can we kind of explain why we've got no template for the last 16 onwards?
Well, I mean, we had to get on the event to start with, right? We have a lot of great referees, so we used the template early, but I think Matchroom understands that, you know, the fans want to see more pool, right? So you're going to see something that's going to be a little more difficult situations, a little more difficult layouts, nothing guaranteed as far as shots after the break. So just a little bit more
Extension,
pool
please.
overall, which is what the players want, and Matchroom's recognized that that's what the fans want as well. Funny little shot here. He'd love to hit this with a top English, right, to get the speed right, but it looks like the 7's a little bit in the way of the cue ball, and he's cueing funny. So keeps it simple.
Yeah, it's easy to overspin this shot. There you can see that's a perfect view.
Well, if that tells you anything. I know he didn't gain the position he wanted. I don't think he did anyways, but it's a pretty remarkable shot to start off with, right? Some players would have overcut that and ran the cue ball safe somewhere.
Yeah, you could see the cue ball spinning all the way until it hit that 3 ball.
Okay, it looks like a safety behind the 9 ball.
This is where Albin is usually very good.
He's gotten away from him a little bit. And it's amazing how just that rail speed is always correct, right? Just laying the cue ball down on the rail usually is the path. First look at Thorsten Hohmann.
Thorsten Hohmann, two-time champion himself. Not been seen that much on our Sky Sports screens.
Wow, center cut there.
Beautiful opening shot there from Thorsten, wasn't it? Nice bank shot.
What I like is he didn't really question his gut, right? He saw that I want to go offense, even though it's my first shot here in the final 16. He didn't back off. Oh, he got that just a little heavy to the pocket. That's why he caught the 7. But I think Thorsten's gotten back to really kind of his heyday. And, you know, he's always been a great straight pool player, great 8-ball player, of course, great 9-ball player. But what he did when he won those events is he just kept making the balls, even if he was a little out of line.
A little bit like that.
Yeah, that's right. And you know, I wouldn't say total disregard of the cue ball, right? But when you get in that mode, I'm just going to continue to make balls. Man, it's a good feeling.
That's why the safety aspect of 9-ball pool is very important. It's often overlooked, isn't it, JJ? Because at first it looked like, well, yeah, he didn't snooker Thorsten, but he got the distance. But you leave these guys these long bank shots, and they're going to make a lot of them.
Very surprised he didn't pull the cue ball back across there, right? I mean, I didn't think it was too unnatural to come one rail back across to get a bit more of an easier shot on the 9.
He's probably going to swing this round off 3 rails, maybe even 4, just so he can put a nice stroke on the cue ball.
A little quick with the takeaway on the backswing. I don't know if you noticed, pretty short with that backswing. That usually goes with a little quick. Bit fortunate with the outcome here. He didn't leave anything easy for Albin.
Yeah, it's a little bit worrying, but you know, first rack, they're the type of shots that can give you loads of confidence. Or
well, I don't think there's a scratch in that first side pocket, but watch out cross side. Nothing easy there, and nothing easy here, believe it or not. They're very straight, but these pockets are starting to tighten up a little bit, so this type of shot can be bobbled. He's going to roll it.
Thorsten Hohmann wins the rack.
so after missing the 9 ball, fortunately for Thorsten, he got away with it, and Albin missed a tricky one. So he ends up winning the first rack.
Yeah, and to get back to your point about the safety, is what it is as the levels, you get on the higher levels of the game, players, but when you win with a decade separated, right, that's pretty impressive. Of course, Thorsten's the guy that stays in shape, very clear-headed guy, and he doesn't settle either. He's always trying to improve his game, even at late in his career. You're going to see the one in the side a bit more with the wooden rack, the regular triangle. And he's got a beautiful shot here on the 2 and pretty easy position on the pink 4. Now this is our feature match, but we'll certainly keep you updated with the scores. We have 3 other outer matches going on.
Yeah, on table 2, it's available on the YouTube channel, Matchroom Pool. Appleton versus Filler. They've shared the opening 2 racks. It's 1 apiece. Ouschan had that great run to last year's US Open final, didn't he? He's playing Abdullah Al-Yusuf. And then on our other table, our 4th remaining table, Ronald Regler. He's had a great tournament. He's from Switzerland. He's playing the current Masters champion, Alexander Kazakis.
Yeah, and Kazakis has been a guy really not mentioned during the event too much. Just I talked to him about it. He's fine with that. Just let me do my business, and hopefully we'll talk a lot about him here the next 2 days is what he's hoping. Got a little thin here. Can he draw this easily? This is a little funny, I think, with the 9 ball being there. He may have to stun out 2 rails and take a little cut shot on the 7, right? Come out 2 rails inside the 7. Not a shot you shoot all the time, but smart shot, though. I'd love to fall underneath this a little bit on the rail, just gaining a little bit of an angle. It's a funny shot, right? I mean, anytime you're on a full hit on this slick table, you're not going to get much bounce, so you may want to draw this ball instead of follow. Cheat the pocket a little bit.
Cue ball's going a little near the side.
Very near the side. Wow.
Wow.
And thankful Unfortunately for Thorsten, he's on the diamond table, right?
Extension,
A lot of side pocket tables, that would have been gone.
So this is to win his second rack, but it's not been a convincing start. But this will certainly settle him down. He's already missed a 9 in this pocket. Can he make this one? You've got to stay still.
Kind of came up off it. I don't know if you recognize the elbow kind of dropped, tip went up. You always don't get the contact on the object ball when that happens. And
extension, please.
Crazily, 2 9-balls missed in the first 2 games.
Yeah, and if Albin can just slot this 9 home, he's got to like what he's seeing.
Yeah, and that was a missable ball, right? That's just funny cueing. It's amazing that 1 or 2 inches, you know, if you're off the rail, that becomes somewhat of a hanger for these guys. But ooh, I thought he overcut it.
Albin Ouschan wins the rack.
A strange little start going on here.
For his opportunity.
Thank you, rack 3.
And really has become even
Albin
stronger
Ouschan's break.
mentally, it looks like, which is pretty scary. Now, Albin pulls the cue ball out a little more, so he should fly the one past the side a little bit. Right in the side. I love it. These guys not backing off at all on the break.
Yeah, it makes for better viewing, that's for sure.
He's got a great shot here. He can cue the ball. He's got a little bit of an angle, the 4 in the center of the table. He's just going to have to manufacture a decent shot on the 4, but also a proper angle to get on the 5. This first shot really will tell you the difficulty of the rest of the rack. If he can fall in the pink pretty nice. I don't know if I try to get for the side here, Carl. I may try and come out between the 7-8. Take the 4 down in one of these lower corners. I think the side can get you in a funny position.
Well, he's digging down low, isn't he? So is he trying to come back through the gap?
I think so. Just slowly between them like that. He's going to fall perfect, I think, unless this falls off on the side. And this was what I was worried about for the side, is you could get kind of trapped to where you may not be able to get on that purple 5. Does he have enough to elevate the cue and draw back and get a cut shot on the 5? Oh, he can follow his ball. Oh, that's a beauty there.
Yeah, he's made that look very easy. Didn't have a big window to land in there to find this potting angle.
Well, you had to go past the 6 and then check the cue ball up with a little left English. And if you overhit that a bit, that English won't take. You'll come across high and snookered. Well, you wouldn't label Thorsten Hohmann as a major underdog in any match, but you had to believe he's an underdog here a little bit, and just like any underdog, needs that good start. He's not too happy about landing on the rail as well. That's where the nerves really show up,
Extension,
right?
please.
When the cue ball's on the rail, it seems.
Yeah, it's not ideal for Albin, but still big favourite to pop this 9, of course.
Rack 4. Albin Ouschan to break, leading 2 racks to 1.
Well, you had mentioned Yusuf ran all those racks yesterday. I haven't seen him at the table yet in that match. So maybe Yap putting a little bit of what Yusuf did yesterday back on him. Watch the break, not letting off at all. Smashing him. And he's got a great shot on the 2. Doesn't have to do much with the cue ball. He can handle a little angle on the 3 to work for the 5. So I don't see Thorsten getting to the table here this rack.
Yeah, you feel like this is going to be the key shot. There's a bit of distance on it. Doesn't have to do much with the cue ball. That's in his favour.
Yeah, just use that natural little angle to come out maybe 6 or 8 inches. Should be about medium speed.
Nicely done.
And it's got to go to the top rail here, it looks like. I don't know if he can float this in or if he wants to, actually. I think I want to still go to the top rail. I don't want to take any chances here, getting kind of funny on the 5. Maybe a little bit of nip draw to the top rail and straight back down. Put a little inside. Pretty comfortable speed there, Carl.
Yeah, he's a man who knows how to work this type of pool table.
Yeah, I talked about it a few days ago. What makes Albin so tough is his the percentages are, you know, as good as anyone when it comes to decision making. And then he also can come with the shot as well as anyone. Really is no weakness in the game, right? You know him better than I do even, and I don't think you could label much of a weakness.
No, I do agree.
Darren Appleton with a 3-2 lead now and at the table again. Does he just pinch this a little? Oh, he came across. Okay.
Thorsten's had his chances, hasn't he, in the opening few racks to try and get a bit more of a lead, and now he's going to be going 3-1 down against the defending champion.
5. Albin Ouschan to break. Leading
And
3
really,
racks.
Filler's been tested in almost all his matches. Early, he had a couple, runaways, I guess you would say. He does that a lot, but there's been a lot of players that have taken the lead against Filler, and Filler at some point or another has caught him. I think it was Sanjin. I talked to him this morning. He said he ran 6 racks in that match and still lost, so doesn't take much. And I think he's got a sliver on the 2 with a pretty big pocket on the 3, with the 3 sitting there, so good chance for another clearance for Albin Ouschan. Now, this is funny, though. The 3 is sitting a little bit funny, meaning he could double kiss it and the ball stand up right there. Put a little speed on this, Carl?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Because if it's touching that rail, it can be awkward.
Yeah.
Looks like it's on that point, doesn't it? The 3.
Yeah. And the thing is, he doesn't want to spin this in and come behind the 7 and the 4. So maybe straight up and down. Oh, it looks like he is killing it. So he's pretty confident on the make.
Yeah, maybe he's got more of a gap than we believe.
No, he killed it with inside. So that's a comfortable Albin Ouschan here early in the final 16. A lot of players wouldn't have shot that ball like that, right? Now does the 4 pass the 6 in the lower left-hand corner? Looks to me he can play a rail first shot. Now he's looking to draw the cue ball. This is a funny little situation here. If he draws the ball, he could get in that gap for the 4 in the right middle side pocket, but that doesn't mean easy position on the 5. And chalking the cue like that makes you think he's going to draw the cue ball. We talked about it throughout the week. On the slick table, we see the guys use the draw stroke a bit more than you might see in other events.
It's a nasty little shot, this one.
Oh, wow. Kind of let up on the downstroke. Did you see that? And that happens when you're a bit unsure, right? Well, he's going to have to make one heck of a shot here. Drawn to the side rail, maybe in between the 6-7. We'll see. Quick again, little quick.
Yeah, now where's it going to finish? Well, for Albin, it's not going to be good. Yap's 4-1 up over Youssef. Zakas is 3-1 up over Ronald Reglin. Appleton 4-2 over Filler.
Oh, they're all big, but after missing that 10, this long pot on the 4 ball could really do a lot for Thorsten. Yeah, just barely overcut it. So what do you do? What do you say to yourself, Carl? I mean, he's missed the 10 in the first game. Luckily, gotta wait.
The 9.
Oh, excuse me, missed the 9. Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, he's missed the 9 in the first game. Of course, missed it again in the second game. Now he sees an Albin Ouschan getting comfortable. What do you say to yourself?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about cue action this game, isn't it? On them tricky long pots, you've got to stay still, commit to the shot, and it has to be said he looks very, very jumpy, doesn't he? Good speed there from Albin.
Yeah, me personally, I don't jump this ball. I got to take my chances kicking it. Most likely, you're going to get some separation if you do hit it, the way the ball sits. The only problem is on the slick table, he may have to hit this with the draw stroke. Try and bend the cue ball a bit.
Oh, good effort. Very good effort. That wasn't far away at all, was it?
Joshua Filler back at the table there, trailing.
Yeah, we talk about the safety game quite a lot, and Albin is definitely one of the best. His speed is usually very good.
Yeah, tactically, he's definitely one of the best. Kicks at the ball great as well. Seems like it always makes sense what Albin Ouschan is doing.
Joshua Filler's just missed the 6th ball. Appleton's out of his chair. That is a big moment in that match.
Oh, wow. Darren cut the ball in and scratched in the side. We'll probably see a highlight of that, but Albin Ouschan now to extend that lead.
Albin Ouschan wins the round.
One thing's for sure, there's going to be drama on day 4. Thorsten Hohmann has got a lot to think about here. He's had chances, and it's been the long, sort of tricky pots that's let him down. They see a wonderful view of the arena. These are the 2 balls left for Filler. He did miss the 6th ball in this rack, Filler, so he's not settled. He's feeling the heat. But it's 4-3 Dino. Can Dino win another World Pool Championships?
Yeah.
Yeah, over to table 4, Abdullah Al Youssef. Well, he's got to like that. Very nice shot indeed. This is the end of that rack.
Yeah, and to get on the board, he does trail now 4-1, but
that's one way to win your first rack.
Leading 4 racks to 1.
Okay, let's take a look at Albin Ouschan's break again.
the one has been screaming in the side pocket. A little high that time. Bunch of kisses on the cue ball.
He's the one to bounce. Don't think it's going to, is it?
I think you're going to see him shoot at this, though. Maybe not. I mean, you feel pretty confident edging, you know, his left side of the 1 and trying to run the cue ball behind the 2 and the 7. That's pretty difficult. I think he may go for this. Don't really see a great safety that I'm in love with, anyways. I think he's supposed to shoot here, Carl.
Yeah, that 1 ball's a little higher off that short rail than certainly this camera angle tells you, isn't it? So.
And I think he gets by the 9, which hitting the 9 isn't the worst thing, but you could end up behind the 3. But I think he goes towards the 2 and the 7 with the cue ball. Oh, he hit that clean. Really unfortunate not to come away with a better shot.
Yeah, he was never guaranteed a shot. It was all about just make the ball, chance it a little bit.
Yeah, but that shot alone shows me a lot about his mentality versus a lot of players in this situation of the final 16 World Pool Championships. Did you notice how smooth he hit that from the in rail, right? Most players would put a lot more speed into the cue ball trying to, you know, I guess maybe cinch the 1, you might say.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
He shot it calmly, which is hard to do in this situation.
Yeah, he's very good on this table. Do you know what I mean? The Mosconi Cup's very same. It's the same environment, isn't it?
Well, I don't know if there's any environment the same as the Mosconi Cup. Going behind the 9 here. He's going to catch the 9. So a little bit of an opening. He wanted to make sure the 2 didn't get opened up, though. Not a whole lot here for Thorsten. Probably just banks the 2 back down to the middle of this end rail. Tries to put the cue ball in the top rail. This is going to be okay. Good speed. I'll tell you, Albin may go for this bank. I know it sounds crazy, but this does go by the 7. You think he's looking at maybe trying to run the cue ball behind the 5? think so. Maybe put the 2 up on top of the 8, something like that.
Yeah, he's got the 8 ball in his mind, hasn't he? Let's have a look how he manages this.
Oh, that's long. It's not going to get behind the 5. It is going to leave some distance for a man who has struggled here early.
Yeah, you know it, don't you? And he knows it as well.
Yeah, Albin's no fool there. And maybe, you know, if he saw a different player, right? Maybe he banks at that 2 ball.
Extension, please.
Yeah, Jason Shaw or Phil.
Yeah,
Maybe he has a different mindset over that shot.
Absolutely. And the one thing is I think the guys still have to have the aggressive mindsets. From what I've seen, the balls are still breaking great. Racks, you can still run a lot of racks.
He's got to shoot this ball. He's got to try and find a little bit of confidence from somewhere.
Yeah, he's just got to keep that body still.
Yeah, you don't want to fall over the line, do you?
Yeah, he's just a little quick.
Yeah, there's so much movement going on here. It's worrying. It really is.
Yeah, you know, you don't really have. Yeah, you see, anytime the elbow's dropping that quickly, you know, it's a pretty quick movement on the swing, right? You see the tip way up in the air, right? So.
Yeah, moving forward for the rest of this game, Albin can kind of play with this a little bit on his safety shots, can't he?
Yeah, he can certainly make easier decisions until Thorsten shows him otherwise, right?
Phil has tied the match up on table 2. After that scratch that we told you about, Darren, it's 4-4. That looks like it's going to be a tight match. Actually, I was speaking to Darren last night and he was telling me the last 3 times he's played Phil, he's lost hill-hill all 3 times.
Wow.
He said he owes him one.
Well, a few people owe Phil one. Don't feel alone, Darren Appleton. Yeah, and, you know, what I was going to get at is, you know, of course, between games, you can take a little restroom break if wanted or whatever you need to do. And I think Thorsten needs to call on that pretty soon. I don't think there's any. He needs to take a walk, go clear his head as soon as he gets the opportunity, kind of start over.
Yeah, some players have coaches, don't they? But it's not, I don't think we've got coaches here with the players, but it'd be kind of interesting if, you know, you brought a coach with you and they could say, Thorsten, you got to stay still, buddy. Just believe in your cue action. You're jumping around a little bit. Sometimes it's nice to hear that.
Well, and, you know, in pool, because coaches weren't such a you know, prominent thing, right? A lot of players are like, I don't want to hear anything. But once you start to understand, you can hear something and still perform. It actually improves you, I think.
Yep.
But definitely Thorsten needs a cut man in his corner right now. He's got a little bleeding going on.
Yeah, and this bleeding could get a lot worse, couldn't it? Because this 9-ball, and the current world pool champion, well, he's 5. A little bit of history here this week.
Albin Ouschan to break, leading
And
5
win a
racks to 1.
3rd world title. Winning 1 is incredible. 2 is, well, that's special, but 3, that's just something else. Breaking well.
Yeah, and I think that kiss on the cue ball. Yeah, and I think that kiss on the cue ball is just something that the players are going to have to, you know, not worry about. It's just going to happen. There's going to be some unfortunate ones. You see Albin raise the hand a little. I think he's trying to figure out how to break to avoid that kiss, maybe. He took a hair of speed off there. Not much, just a little.
definitely prefer the play. Sorry, JJ. I was just
you're
saying, definitely prefer the players hitting the brake hard. That's what I liked about Shane yesterday. You know, he didn't let up on the brake. He was going full-blown attack mode on the brake.
Yeah, impressive to watch. After making that comeback, a lot of players may take a little something off at that hill stage.
Oh yeah, you know.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, you may not even do it consciously. You just may do it under nerves, accidentally kind of take something off. And I don't know if this has fallen a little funny to where he can't work the cue ball upward much without the 3 coming up as well. I think he's okay, though.
Yeah, he can get the cue ball moving pretty much where he wants here, so I think he's good. So much experience in this situation as Albin. You know, he can go through a tournament. We did see it. We've seen it at the CLP last year. We've seen it at the Premier League pool this year. He can often go through a tournament not looking his best, looking a little bit down on himself. But certainly now, today, you know he means business today. This is where he comes good.
Yeah, I said it earlier, you know, if everything falls kind of 50-50, which never happens, but, you know, if it's somewhat around there, he's got to be the guy you think is going to win the match. Now, the great things about all these players is they can take it away from you a bit, and that's a lot of their plans. But one thing he definitely wants to do is punish you for your mistakes, and that's exactly what's happening so far.
Even there on that shot, after he hit it, he kind of looked up to the sky. He wasn't happy with something, maybe the way he delivered the cue. Tries to seek perfection.
Yeah, and he registers a lot in his mind what the table's doing constantly, so it's funny. In his early interview in the tournament, you know, he played a beautiful match where he may talk about that, right? But he talked about the match he struggled a little bit, and he wanted to learn from that versus even more keying on that pretty flawless match he played in the second round. So.
Defend his title. Back to the action. Albin Ouschan to break.
Yeah, another guy we haven't talked about much this week is Kazakis. He trails 4-3 to Ronald Regley.
Wow, he seriously lost a cue ball on that break.
Yeah, he actually had a little left spin and a little above center.
Yeah, that looks something like you see on a Friday night down the local pub, that break. Just a cue ball, isn't it?
Yeah, you can see a lot of hook spin, a little, like I said, a little bit of left English above the equator with the tip. But he's dressed up with a super nice safety here. Now, the thing that he's evaluating is, how can I get the most out of this safety? A lot of people just, you know, roll this up and don't really think about where I want to put that object ball. See him trying to get it past the 3. Now the cue ball came out a little bit more, so he's going to give a 2-rail kick to Thorsten. This is a shot that some may kick softly at. I think it's a medium firm. Try and create a little bit of luck. Because most likely if you kick soft, you may leave Albin off an offensive shot, but most likely he's going to have a nice defensive shot to play again. Could fluke this.
Fast stroke.
Yeah, he didn't let the spin take.
Ball in hand.
And it's just that difficult to judge, but, you know, year after year, it amazes me how many of the kicks the players miss, right?
Yeah, there's an look. You could clearly see it hit the 3 ball. Albin's just going about his business nicely, isn't he?
Yeah, he's gotten a little thinner here, but that's okay. 8 ball, look how deep that side pocket is. You can barely see the 8 hanging on the right middle. If you don't pay attention, you could certainly overlook it. And on table 2, we have a serious congestion of balls in that corner pocket with Darren and Filler.
Extension, please.
Do you come 2 rails between the 6-9 here? Or do you just kind of slow spin out of there? Wow, he banked it. He was much thinner than I thought.
I've just been glancing over to Ronald Regley versus Kazakis, and Ronald Regley's actually wearing a Team Europe jacket to play his match. Maybe he's hinting at Mr. Laley.
Well, he had a nice win to get to this final 16 over John Mora. So taking advantage and has a little lead over Kazakis. And you wouldn't think these mistakes by Thorsten were really promoted by Albin, but there's got to be a little bit in the back of his mind knowing this guy really is going to torture you for any mistakes. And look at this. Wow.
Whoa, what's he done here?
Yeah. And he moved that a good 2 feet further than he needed.
This is a little big moment in this match now. Thorsten's looking for something to happen. Albin's going to be playing the bank shot. Well, what about that for a bank shot, JJ? He didn't let go there, did he?
No, not at all. So no matter what it takes, so far Albin Ouschan's prepared.
Draws the cue ball round off 3 rails. Another break, yeah. Sorry, JJ, go ahead.
I was just going to say another kiss on the cue ball, but that's just going to happen a ton. And the players just have to not let that bother them. It's going to be unfortunate for a few at times. We know that, but I'll tell you, you know, no one, I would say, had a better year last year than Albin, of course. But you got to like the year that you saw from Yap, right? Last year, runner-up in a few big events, won a big event. Just got to believe the kid's so steady. You're going to see him down in the final 8 or 16 of a lot of major events. Okay, so Thorsten's got to prepare himself mentally. He's going to get an opportunity here at the table of some sort. Can he not get to the top side of this to go 3 rails behind the 6? It looks so appetizing, right? To bury him behind the 6 ball. Oh, he got a lot out of the cue ball there. Even contacting the 7. So the jump cue coming soon.
Feels like it's been a long time since we've seen Thorsten at the table.
Yeah, that third game really made a huge difference, I think. Or excuse me, was it game 2? Where he overcut the 10 ball. I mean, the jump shot's the right shot, but there really is nothing to predict here. Maybe just try and dig on the cue ball and draw back off the 1, jumping it, maybe? I'm not sure what else you could really attempt. You're breaking up all this bad cluster, but that's just how it is. This isn't going to be what he wanted. So no love so far after a few early mistakes.
Needed something to happen there, didn't he, Thorsten? And he was in a tricky little position. He's going to bring back Albin to the table to extend the lead. This match has been all about Albin, but first couple of racks where Thorsten missed a couple of 9 balls could have been so different. He's lost a cue ball again. We've seen it a few times, haven't we?
Yeah, the bed's still super fast. I think he's okay with the straight draw. I think he can get by the 6. Maybe I'm fooled, but I think straight draw, he can't, he may have to sacrifice a little distance on the 4, but I think he's okay.
Extension.
Extension, please.
Darren Appleton back at the breaking end of the table there on table number 2. I believe it's 6-5. He almost lost the cue ball there. Is he going 5 rails here? No, it's soft drawing. Okay. Thought that was okay. The only thing he struggled with, right, is the speed of the bed. I think all things considered, though, he's pretty happy from where he was at on the 3 to get here on the 4.
Yeah, I think you would be delighted to have this shot.
Still struggling with the speed a little bit. He wanted to be a little underneath that 5. That way he didn't have to deal with the 8, but he's actually just fine. Just be 1 rail to the center of the table.
There's another good safety shot from Albin that's carved out this opportunity. We've seen it so many times on our screens. It's all Albin. Abdullah Al-Yusuf. He's looking good there. And Kazakis has took the lead on table number 3. He's 6-4 up over Ronald Regley. Albin to break. This looks good. This looks real tasty.
Yeah, and I can see right down the line, he can barely get at that 3-ball, but he can get at it. He's made 3 on the break. You kind of feel like almost always, you know, a player like Thorsten in this position does get a chance usually to try and get something going, but he's facing a guy that may not be the case. Normally the pool gods, though, will give you some kind of break, right?
Yeah, he's been severely punished for his couple of missed 9 balls early on, and then missed that long 5, didn't he? He missed another ball where he was trying to draw off. He's missed. Yeah, he's struggled. He really has. But since then, it's been all Albin.
And it's, you know, techniques set up for different things, right? So I think there is a, you know, Thorsten's technique does set up to where if the nerves get a little high, it can be a little bit of an issue, right? Because he is a little bit shorter, stuns the ball a little bit more, punches the ball a little bit more, where you see an Albin who definitely does do some of that, but more of a sweeter swinger. And looking to put another on his board, on his side of the board.
Another nice rack, break and run again for Mr. Ouschan. 9-1, over to table 2 now.
Think anyways, he may come back behind the 3-7 with the cue ball. He's a little worried about his speed, right? All right, he's made a ball. That's what I would have been worried about, shooting the shot he shot. Yeah. He's pocketed the 8, I think.
5-ball it is.
It was the 5-ball, yeah.
Yeah, whenever you're knocking a ball into another like that, you can never be quite sure, can you? I think laying the cue ball under the 2 would have been his best bet. I would have thought he'd have been okay with that. Now he's kicking at 1, he's going to need a little love.
Well, all in all, I mean, he's left a playable shot on a 1-9, but no hanger.
Yeah, of course, you can catch table 2 on the Matchroom Pool YouTube channel. Put that on your iPad and get table 1 on your TV. Watch them both. Alan's played a good shot there.
Yeah, and Darren played a great shot, and the 9 came in the way of the 2. So now he's got to play a 2-9 combo. It's a very makeable combo, but he would have rather had a clean shot at the 2, I believe. Oh, he didn't even play the combo. He went for the safety, so We'll get back to table 2 shortly, but Albin Ouschan doing a lot of what he does. 9-1 after 10 games. The speed going across the table. A little inside English here, maybe 2 rails. 6 has plenty of room to play coming across the table.
Just look at the speed again, though. I know he's overrun a few, but there's SVB watching on. He sat next to Billy Thorpe. Shane's probably just having a little suss of the break shot because he's up next. I guess Ko Pin-Yi. That is a rerun of the 2015 final.
Of course, Shane trying to change that outcome and get on to this final, which will be tomorrow evening. Got a little the wrong side here, so he's got to come across and just make sure he maintains an angle on the 7. He's going to play short side, smart shot. Now Darren with a long 9 ball, but should be okay. A 7-6 lead, so they changed, swapped the lead a few times over there on table 2. Been a very common theme in Filler's run this so far in the 2022 World Pool Championships. Say that might be a little hot.
Yeah, he's lost the cue ball quite a good few times in this match, hasn't he?
Really surprised he didn't use the 2nd rail before the side pocket on that shot. I think normally he would. I think he's got to play another bank. That opportunity I was talking about.
Yeah, we've seen one phenomenal comeback last night. Are we about to see another one? Can Thorsten make something happen? Looked like Albin was going to get on the hill. That's the first ball Thorsten's potted since the 2nd rack. Thorsten to break. Can he make something happen? You feel it's now or never.
Yeah, well, it starts with a good break off here. Pretty solid. Hit the 1 squarely. Cue ball's going to contact the 1 as the 2 in the way. Oh my. So still getting a little punish for those early mistakes. Going to have to grind a few games out, most likely. Probably rolls out somewhere near the pink with the cue ball. Still so dangerous, right? Against a guy like Albin.
Push out call.
Where do you roll out here? Do you go all the way to the end rail? Or somewhere near the pink, maybe? Maybe try to reposition the pink a little bit to maybe open the door for a safety?
Yeah, one thing I don't think he'll be pushing out to is some form of long pot, tricky long pot.
Yeah, well, that's where he's going.
Okay.
And I don't think, oh, and he's got the cue ball off the rail. Well, Albin's definitely going to shoot at this. He may not go offensive, but he's definitely not giving it back, right? Surprising there to come to the end rail and then let him cue the ball so nicely as well.
Extension, please.
So probably just a little off with the speed still. The nerves, maybe.
Yeah, that's often an indication. Albin's going to attack this ball. He's walked round to have a look at the potting angle. Cue ball's going to go 4 rails. There's a bit of traffic to avoid. And the pot isn't easy.
Yeah, depending on how the 1 hits the pocket, he could catch the 9 off of a couple rails. Oh, he's overcut it. Watch out, 9-ball. Watch out, 9-ball. So here you go, Thorsten Hohmann. Nice shot. Darren Appleton's open a 2-game lead now at 8-6. 8-4 on the other 2 tables with Yap and Kazakis leading.
Well, all great comebacks have to start somewhere. Albin Ouschan had an easy table to go 10-1 up. He didn't go 10-1 up, and now it's going to be 9-3.
Yeah, and you would suspect it's going to take, you know, a little package here from Thorsten to get back in this match, but that's kind of how he's gotten.
It's there, putting the 2-ball there.
Yeah.
Fellas under the gun there.
Maybe the 2 goes off the 4 in the opposite corner, though.
The hitman to break. He needs a 3 or 4 pack, you feel, to get right back in this match.
Now the 1's looming. He's going to get a cut shot on the 1, so he's happy with that. And he goes into the 3-8-ish to hold position for the 2, so can't complain with this starter. And maybe he avoids the 3-8 here. I'm not sure.
Well, that'll work. That'll work indeed.
Yeah, and those little touchy shots, I think, has got to do a little bit for his confidence, you know, after how the match started, right?
Yeah, we know what pool's like, JJ. It's a very fickle game, isn't it? And Thorsten has been sat there with 2 balls left thinking, I'm 10-1 down, I'm out of this year's event. Albin's given him a little lifeline, something to grab hold of. And here he is trying to make something happen. This is pool in a nutshell.
Yeah, you couldn't have explained it better. It doesn't take much to really change things. Boy, and Daz is coming with it on table 2. What a nice long shot on the 5 he just made. He's trying to get a 3-game lead late in that match.
Yeah, when he smells blood and that winning line, nobody does it better.
Yeah, he's a bulldog, I'll tell you. Got to be a great guy to play doubles with, right?
Yeah, whenever it's safety, you just go carry on.
Well, plus the, you know, I mean, he focuses as well as anyone, but he also knows the right time to, you know, keep it light, right? Say the right thing at the right time, I imagine, anyways.
Yeah, so he did win that rack. Dynamite Darren Appleton. He's 9-6 up over Joshua Filler. Joshua's been in some close battles all week. If he's going to go on and win that match, he's going to find himself in another. A little story brewing here on table 1. Still early stages of a big comeback, but it's a story starting to happen. The hitman, Thorsten Hohmann,
Thank you, rack 14.
Yeah,
Thorsten Hohmann to break, trailing by 9 racks to 4.
Pool's such a crazy game. You might not see that many missed balls in the entire match, and then all of a sudden, when they land a little funny. Filler with a 9 ball on table 2 to cut that lead, I believe, to 9-7. Watch out, cue ball. It's been going that way. Oh my.
Foul stroke. Ball in hand.
Yeah, he's going to chalk that one down as a poor break.
Yeah, he crossed the one over a
Start
little
the
bit.
clock, please.
You can talk to it all you want, but that was always going to be ball in hand for Albin.
Yeah, and it's a pretty kind table layout, isn't it? It's just all about speed. We've seen it a million times, and he has lost the speed of the table 3 or 4 times in this match, so we can't count this one as a guarantee, can we?
No, and amazingly, it's, well, look at there. That'll tell you that he didn't ever intend to bump that ball. So kind of from nowhere, Albin with a few struggles. And his speed control's really been on a couple simple ones, just getting on the 9 ball, right? So
Extension, please.
like that's off the mark, what, 2 feet there?
Yeah. As you said, JJ, from nowhere, he's almost trying to create a story for us, isn't he?
Yeah, well, they always say the first and last. He still needs 2 games, but he knows getting on that hill early, it would take something special. Now, you know Albin, of course. Ooh, even there. So not settled still, but does a shot like that first one get in his head a bit more for the next few shots? Is that maybe the one chink in the armor at times?
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe he carries it over a little bit?
Yeah, he definitely does do that. He doesn't think, well, I got away with it, or...
Right, let's forget about it,
yeah.
right?
He almost like, he certainly looks like he carries it through the rack, and then even if he runs the table here, well, me personally, I'd be going that there buzzing me, sat in the chair 10-4. He's going to dwell on this. He'll probably win the match and still dwell on it for the next hour.
Right. Maybe the only thing he'll bring up in the interview. Okay, so even there, the timing was off on the swing. I know he ended up pretty perfect with position, it appears, but you could tell not so happy with the delivery. Well, not much to worry about as far as speed control here. Very heavy on the 8, so maybe draw the cue ball back where it's at now, somewhere like that.
And finally, Albin gets
Albin
on the
Ouschan wins
hill.
rack.
Big
Albin Ouschan
moments
to
in
break.
that match on table
Leading
2.
10 racks to 4.
Well, Albin would want one more sound break off here to end this match and get to that final 8. Oh, maybe he unloaded the most here. The one's going to get up by the 8, so I don't think there's going to be an offensive shot unless he's elevated over the pink 4. So with the 2 on the opposite end, though, he's got a few little rollout scenarios that's okay. Don't think he'll be attacking, even if he can see a piece of the 1. Dynamite on the heel.
You said it's frozen.
Yes.
Push up.
Push out call.
So that's Albin's rollout. Thorsten will have the
Ball is frozen.
option. Play this shot or pass it back. What do you see here, JJ?
Well, the 8, you can't pass this back. The 8's helping you too much contain the 1 ball, so you should be able to capture the speed to come a couple rails behind the 9.
Yep.
You know, the 8's just too much of a carriage, you might say, to help you hold the 1. Is he too light, though? Looks like Yap got back on the board there after Yusuf making a little run. Kazakis at the table trying to end that match.
Extension, please.
What do you see here? Is he partially hooked? I mean, am I not seeing this right? Does he? I thought he had the bottom of the 1 a little bit. Oh no, this is better than I thought from Thorsten Hohmann. I like the long rail kick myself, what he's looking at now. He's kicking to the top rail, but about medium speed. Cue ball should carry to this bottom cushion.
Is the 9 ball going to help?
It's going to be close. I think it has. I think, anyways. Yes, it has. Jump shot? There's a few different shots he could play with the 2 hanging. He could kick 2 rails and slide the cue ball off the back of the 1 at the 2 ball. He could kick safe, moving the 1 up table.
Extension, please.
He could even jump at this. I guess most, I mean, that 10-4 scoreline, I think, makes you think there's more options than maybe there should be. Oh, he's overcutting this and trying to run safe. I didn't realize he had a piece of the 1, Carl. Oh, he's going for the bank.
Yeah, it was a nice shot, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I think it was correct. I mean, with the 2 ball hanging, you got to take advantage of that.
This is for 10-5. That's not too bad. We've seen things happen from this situation before.
Yeah, I think, maybe if the way this had unfolded into a 10-5 score a different manner, we would look at it as like, very doable for Thorsten, but he's got to get past a few of those struggles. He's got to have a little help getting shots after the break. But, yeah, definitely he can overcome this. Can't afford that scratch on the break anymore, though.
Thorsten Hohmann wins the round.
It is 10-5. Phil has just taken a timeout. I believe it's 10-8 now.
That's right. And from what I've seen is we've seen a little more inconsistency on table 2 as far as the break.
Yeah, the break's been a little bit funny.
Yeah, the balls have clustered up a little bit. The 9 has had a lot of movement, you might say.
Yeah, and I think both players have showed a little bit of nerves. It looks like it's been one of them matches where maybe respecting each other a little bit too much. Something
Absolutely,
like that.
absolutely. Well, they know this first match today, really, because you change from day to day in this sport. You'd like to say you're going to play the same, but that's not the case. So this match is really setting up for one of those guys trying to get this title. I know that can't happen until tomorrow, but no bigger matches than starting off right here Saturday morning. Okay, this sits pretty nice. He can play the 1 above the 3 and bring the cue ball 2 rails behind the 7 and the 2. He's got a little comfort knowing the 2 is tied up.
Yep.
He's looking at something else maybe, but I thought this was pretty natural. Yeah, he's hitting the left side, so he's going behind the purple 5. Watch out for the corner.
Watch out for the 9. Yeah, this is going to work out okay, I believe.
Yeah. Smart shot. Now he's going to jump and cut this away, trying to bank it 2 rails down table. He's just got to make sure doesn't hit it too full. Doesn't want to open that 2-7 some kind of way. Well, he may have cut off a little bit of the cue ball, that being the right side of the cue ball, which is a good thing. I think he's a little straight to maybe get the opening on the 2-7, right? The breakout, but
Extension, please.
you can feel the tension, right, Carl? I mean, even at 10-5, I think Albin realizes, you know, he wants to get this done quickly.
Yeah, you don't want this match starting to go to 10-7, do you? 10-8. Then that just becomes very dangerous territory then. You can easily lose 3 racks just by one little small error. No problem. Well, that was a brave shot. Surely he's not fluked the 9.
No, he hadn't, but he's trapped himself here on the 2, and he's not going to like that. Not one bit. I think he's going to have to play a soft kick off the top rail, I believe. Don't blame the play, though, really, too much. I mean, kind of.
Last row.
He wanted to make sure he didn't give up an easy win. And he knows he's in a dangerous territory also, even up 10-5.
Yeah, if you're new to pool and you're just wondering what has gone on there, well,
Start the clock, please.
you realise trying to kick at the 2 would open all the balls up and probably sell out an easy table for his opponent. So he's just played a foul, just potted the 9. And the 9 just respots.
You could even see there that Thorsten's still a bit nervous as he walked away from that. He was a bit worried, right?
Yeah, and you can see the difference now in the 2 kick shots, because on the previous kick shot, Albin had nothing. Now he does have a little bit of a chance, doesn't he, JJ?
Yeah, this is a soft kick here. 1 rail. You have to judge it on the slidey table, but I wouldn't be surprised that Thorsten's snookered after this shot's over. And he has the soft kick knowing the 3's there, right? So. Beauty.
Yeah, that was Albin Ouschan at his finest. Last couple of years, myself and Alex Laley have done a lot of work with Albin leading up to the Mosconi Cup, and
Extension,
his
please.
safety playing, his kicking and that side of the game. Well, it's really good.
Wow, Filler has gotten himself quite a bit out of line here with a few balls left at 10-8.
Yeah, we have the pleasure of being able to see all the tables. We're quite high up in the venue. Filler's at the table. He's played a strange shot on the 5 ball. He's got a long 6. He's already missed one of these in this match, but he didn't miss this one. Is that match going 10-9? We said it was going to be nervy, didn't we? We just know today he's going to throw up the drama.
Yeah, well, these guys that are left in the event, so many former world champions, they just don't miss the balls at the end of the match. They may not always win, but it's not going to be from dogging it, right?
Now, does the 2 pass the 9?
I don't think it. I think this got a little funny.
Is there a combo of some sort, or depends on where it's sat? They see table 2. That is live action. If you're not watching it on Matchroom Pool, get yourself there now, because it's 10-9.
Albin looks pretty confident in what he's looked at here. I didn't see any grimace at all, so he's got to cut this awfully thin, though, not to throw it to the bottom cushion. 9 ball lower left. Yeah.
And it's there. That was unfortunate for Thorsten, but it's just been the story of the match, I'm afraid. The defending champion, he's trying to do a repeat of his title.